Good evening, everyone. This is Josh here at Big Slick Adventures, and I'm going to start a new series where I'm basically going to do horror movie reviews. And I'm going to try to do ones that a lot of people aren't aware of, or maybe they are, but they just haven't seen them. So we're going to start off with our first episode. I wanted to talk about Possession from 1981. Now, Possession from 1981 was a co-production, co-German and French production. This was written and directed, and I hope I don't butcher his name, but a Polish director by the name of Andrzej Zalowski. He wrote and directed Possession. And of course, it stars Sam Neill as Mark and Isabelle Adjani as Anna, who actually end up winning Best Actress at the Cannes Film Festival for her role in this movie. Now, despite the title, this movie is not your typical possession style horror movie. You know what I mean? The Typically it's a some sort of demonic entity that possesses someone, and some old Catholic priest has to come and rescue and vanquish the evil demon back to hell. Not Possession isn't quite like that. Possession on the surface really is a marriage drama with elements of psychological horror. It's part creature feature, body horror, eroticism, and supernatural horror all rolled into one. Um, Also, with this setting being during Cold War era West Germany, for those of you who are too young to remember, at one point Germany was divided into two different countries, West Germany and East Germany. So this is so it kind of blends with the kind of gives it a very unique atmosphere and aesthetic throughout this whole movie. Because for those who remember, the Cold War was very much in everyone's mindsets as far as the clash between the East and the West. And in a lot of ways, talking about the marriage drama, it's almost like Kramer versus Kramer that just went batshit crazy. It has been said that Zawalski had just gone through a breakup of his own upon writing this script for Possession. So that may have had a lot to do with how he wrote this movie. Um, there's going to be some minor spoilers here, but of course, I don't want to give away too much of the movies, particularly for those who have not seen it. But to give some background into the plot, Mark is a West German government agent who has been away from some time on a special mission, like a spy mission. Upon his arrival, his wife Anna informs him that she wants a divorce. The couple have a young son together, which complicates the matters even more. After attempting to talk Anna out of the divorce, Mark is stunned when Anna admits that she is having an affair with another man. This eccentric new age guru type of guy named Heinrich. As expected, Mark is shattered by the news and goes through an emotional roller coaster, ranging from feelings of sadness to depression to rage, in which of course leads to some violent behavior. At one point, he even gets down on the ground and pleads with Anna not to leave him. Anna, on the other hand, shows little remorse towards Mark. But there are times when she shows emotions of outrage and sadness herself. So it's kind of like she's kind of going back and forth between being very stoic and almost unempathetic towards Mark to maybe starting to feel something for Mark again, or and feeling guilt about what she's putting him through. Um, there are moments where Anna behavior becomes very erratic. She'll leave for days on end. Mark believes she's obviously with Heinrich, but when Mark goes to confront Heinrich, he claims he has not seen Anna for weeks. So the question becomes, is Anna seeing someone else now? And if so, who? At one point, when Mark meets his son, Bob, that's the name of his son, teacher, she looks exactly like his estranged wife and ends up having an affair with the teacher. is later discovered. Now, later on, we start learning some dark stuff about Anna. Um, as she has been going to a deserted apartment, as Mark has hired a private investigator to follow her, and she is uh, basically having sexual intercourse with this bizarre looking creature. This creature appears to be a cross between the Blob and a squid. It might be the best, um, probably the best description I can come up with it. So, what this creature's intentions are and motivations are really unclear. But we do know it has some sort of kind of a telepathic hold on Anna, as she will commit murder on a few occasions at behest of this creature. And that's probably where the term possession may come along with that this creature is able to possess Anna in some sort of way. When Mark discovers this wretched event, instead of trying to free Anna, he actually becomes an accomplice to some of her murders. So, despite her heinous actions, Mark still loves his wife and will still protect her. We do see some glimpses of Anna still having love for Mark. I won't give away the whole ending, but the creature's intentions become more and more clear. And Mark and Anna meet their end in a very tragic, sad, yet almost tender scene in a way. Other things about this. So, this is a movie that's been dissected quite a bit and is like trying to understand what the meaning was behind this movie. And that's what I'm going to at least tackle. Now, you might ask five different people, and they might all come up with five different answers, but this is a question I've been asking myself for quite a few years since I first watched this movie, which is becoming, every time I watch it, becomes more and more a favorite of mine. It's probably, I don't know, if I were to rank it's probably about 11th overall as far as my favorite horror movies go. I knew I loved this movie, but wasn't sure why. So, was it the remarkable performances by both Sam Neill and Isabelle Adjani? Performances that I would say are probably the best and definitely my favorite performances I've seen in a horror film. And I know that's a high bar, but yeah, those two both really brought a certain intensity to the roles, and even those over the top, sometimes it fits the movie. This movie certainly has a raw intensity of this film, and then you have this brutal body horror elements. There's a scene in the subway, and I'm talking about subway underneath the street, not the restaurant, by the way, um, where Anna violently starts convulsing and having what appears to be a grotesque miscarriage of some sort. It's one of the most iconic scenes in horror, and just one of the most disturbing scenes to watch. Certainly the most infamous scene in the whole movie. Another reason why I love this movie is perhaps it's the relatability of the story itself, which I think resonates with all of us. We've all been in love, we've all gone through breakups, maybe even a divorce. Perhaps this movie being set once again in Germany during a time where the country was divided was no accident, perhaps done on purpose, but serves as an analogy for relationships as a whole. Throughout the story, Mark and Anna go back and forth between rage and understanding for each other. When Anna at one point cuts herself in the neck with an electric knife, moments later, Mark cuts himself in the arm with that same knife in an attempt to understand what Anna's going through or Anna's going through. So their volatile relationship goes from them fighting and screaming at each other one minute, even getting violent with one another, or to then having sex on the bathroom floor moments after Mark discovers Anna has committed yet another murder. The more Mark finds out about Anna's deeds, the more he wants to help her and even commits murder himself. Um, Boy, is that not true love or what? Um, Instead of judging our partner's flaws, we empathize with them and try even more to help them. Okay, maybe that's a bit extreme when we're talking about murder, but the intention remains the same. Um, at first, I thought that maybe this movie was trying to say that relationships are ultimately doomed to fail no matter what course of action we take. But given that, in a way, Mark and Anna do find their way back to each other, though it costs them their lives and others as well. So there's a certain Greek tragedy to their relationship, and maybe all relationships inevitably. But this was a tragedy brought on by both internal and external forces that emphasizes the struggles of maintaining a relationship. Obviously, the creature, whatever it is, symbolizes external factors which amplifies our own internal factors, whether it be grief, fear, insecurity, or self destructive emotions we may have. After all, we are oftentimes our own worst enemies. Anyway, I could just be rambling and talking out of my ass, who knows, but or maybe there is something to my observations. Either way, if you haven't seen Possession, definitely check it out. It's available, I believe, both on Shudder, AMC Plus, and on Tubi, and I would highly recommend it. It's definitely a 10 out of 10 for me. So, yes, if you haven't seen Possession, give it a shot. And once again, thank you for watching this video. Give me a like, a share, and if you haven't subscribed, go ahead and subscribe already. And we will see you on the next video. Good night, everyone.